Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. Hello everybody. How is everybody doing this fantastic Friday? I'm pretty good, and I'm Annie Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And you have reached a video and channel about cross stitch and other crafty endeavors. This is Flosstube number 71. And it is Friday, September the 25th. Is that right? That is right. And I'm coming to you in the evening after school on Friday the 25th. So, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope that you have had a wonderful Stitchy week since we spoke last Friday. I call these my fun Friday Flosstube weekly updates. And hopefully there will be some fun. There will be some updating. And it's Friday, so there you go. So, first thing, I have a few new subscribers since last we spoke, and so welcome to all of you who this is your first video. I hope that you hear something or see something that you like, and that you'll stick around. I always enjoy reading your comments. Giving a thumbs up is pretty awesome too. If you subscribe, you can always hit the bell, the little bell thing, that says, hey, notify me when she puts a new video up. So yes, you can do that as well. So this week I have whips, new starts, 2 finishes. Is that right? 2 finishes? Yes, 2 finishes. And a little bit of haul and some stitchy kindness, which is pretty cool. So first thing, I have noticed a growing trend of people having Patreons, having the join button where you can join my channel and things like that. I've contemplated it, but I really don't feel like I have enough to offer any of you to do that. However, I was watching Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates, who is now in Texas, which is really cool. And she was talking about how she felt very similarly. Now, let me just say this. She has beautiful cross-stitch charts that she does. Her conversions are phenomenal. She's a very knowledgeable stitcher, knitter, all things crafty. She's getting into some very cool, like, multi-layered mixed media things that I've cross-stitched, which I think is, like, fantastic. And that's kind of taking, like, Stitchy Journal to, like, the next level. But she mentioned on one of her floss tubes, it probably was two weeks ago. I'm not entirely caught up on my floss tubes as per usual, but that she, people had been asking her about a join button, a Patreon, things like that. And I do have two folks that I am, or 2 entities that I am a patron of. One is Tracy Horner of Ink Circles. And she is prolific in sending out updates, and we get a free chart a month. I am, I think, the friends level, and then I also am a patron of Stitch Life magazine. And for now, that is who I am patronizing. I am a patron of. I have not joined any channels yet. That does not mean that I won't. I just haven't. I need to figure out how that even works. I think it's really cool. I wish I had more time, because a lot of the people that you join their channel, they have like exclusive content. I'm 2 weeks behind on my videos, folks. That's rough. I don't know that I could be on live and things like that. But one thing she shared was that she was going to post a link to buy her a coffee. I know that Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts does buy me a coffee. I think there's some other folks that do as well. I don't drink coffee any longer because I gave up caffeine, and even decaf coffee has a minuscule amount in it. So you're able to adapt that. And so I have Buy Me a Fancy Floss. So if you happen to, please do not think that this is required, but if you happen to think that something I share is really cool, one of my conversions, whatever, and you feel so inclined, you can buy me a fancy floss. But like I said, please don't run off and do it and think, oh, Like, I don't want you to feel like that is a necessary thing. It is just something I am doing to help maybe a little bit offset when I ship giveaway items and things like that, when I mail charts, and just a little something nice. Speaking of nice, one really cool thing this week, in light of RBG's passing, a fantastic knitwear designer. Her name is Carissa Browning. She had already designed this beautiful cowl. Let me pull it up to show you. It is called the Descent Cowl, and she has it in crochet. Is that not gorgeous? And knit. And she is through, I believe, November 3rd, donating all of the proceeds from the sale of her chart. I will link it below. I believe you can get it off of Ravelry and maybe Lovecrafts if you're not a fan of Ravelry. She's donating 100% of it to the ACLU. And so far, I believe at this point, she's raised over, in just like a week's time, $20,000. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So, I don't necessarily always agree with the political sides of things, but I know that there were some things that Ginsburg really fought for, one of which was women's equal place in the workplace. And so yeah, I'm not going to get political, but I thought I'd share that because it's a gorgeous pattern. It is mosaic knitting, so that's probably highly above my Stitchy pay grade, but worth a shot. And so I got 2 beautiful yarns for that I might cast that on at some point soon. I don't know that for a fact. But if nothing else, even if you're not a knitter, you can go and purchase the pattern. It's very reasonable. So something else that was really cool is I got some Stitchy kindness this week, unexpectedly as well. First thing though I wanted to share is this week, no, wrong, wrong. This I'm not sharing today. Just kidding. I'm going to share my Stitchy kindness that I got. So the first thing I got, and I'm going to hide the return address, but Joyful Little One told me I needed to show that it had the cutest unicorn sticker and that I decapitated it. But I ripped its head apart. So sweet Laura reached out to me and asked if I had these 2 Prairie Schooler charts. And I said no, because she had found them, I think, at her Goodwill. And I said, oh, I'd love to have them. Please let me know, where to send you some money. And she was like, no, I'm just going to send them to you. So I thought that was super sweet. Came with this super cute card. Look at that little cute bear. Says, this is more than just a card. It's a hug with a fold in the middle. I think that's so sweet. And by the way, I was reminded that I forgot the hug last week. Last week was scattered. And this week might be as well. So I'm going to give you 2 hugs right now, and I promise to be better. One can improve, one can improve. So there's one. And let's do a second one. And then give one like this. Okay, so back to what Laura sent me. She sent me this Prairie Schooler chart. This is 2x2. So it has Noah's Ark and then these pairs of animals. Some are on the same ornament, some are on separate ornaments. And then she sent me 2x2, 2. And so it's got pairs of animals as well. And Joyful Little One and I loved opening this and seeing the sets of animals and seeing how awesome this was. So thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate it. Please know that you never have to send me anything, but it's so nice to get Happy Mail. I know everybody enjoys Happy Mail. But you don't have to send me anything. And so then I got a beautiful, rather large box from Liza. And she actually, in her note, because her name is spelled how I would say Liza, L-I-Z-A. But she actually put in her note that it's pronounced Liza. So beautiful card. It says life holds many blessings. And she sent me a lovely note and shared that she's got a little kit for Joy-Filled Little One. And then she's got some other beautiful things. And then she did a stitched piece for me. So first I'm going to show you the little things that she gave. So look at how cute this little kit is. It says filled with joy. Love it. It comes with the floss. It looks like maybe 14 count Aida. And it's a small, and it's got some back stitch. It's, I think, full cross. I don't see any partials. So super cute. And then this beautiful one that's by Weekend, it says Weekenders, the Irish Prayer. It says, may the road rise up to greet you and the wind be ever at your back. And I think that is so pretty. I don't know when I'll actually get around to stitching it, but it comes with the floss, comes with a needle. It actually comes with the mat and then the Aida. And the Aida is 14 count. So that was so sweet. And then this is so clever. So I knew there were conversion charts. I didn't know there were this many. But she sent me laminated all sorts of fantastic conversion charts. So she sent me Classic Colorworks to DMC. She sent me DMC to Anchor, Anchor to DMC, Weeks Dye Works to DMC, Gentle Arts to DMC, NPI to DMC. And this one is like multiple pages. This is so awesome. So awesome. And these are actually really, she's got a Brad up in the corner. She is like teachery to me with like laminated and brads and so good. And then look at this stitched piece. So it has a card on the back. She finished it in a frame with some beautiful paper on the back, and it says Life Outlined, stitched by Liza. And then it has the date, and it says for Annie with joy and love. And it says she outlined with prayer, excuse me, I can't read today. Life outlined with prayer is less likely to unravel. Is that not beautiful? Excuse the glare. And it's got this, I mean, beautiful, impeccable stitching. Look at those precious flowers and the little butterflies with the back stitching. So Liza, please know that this will be treasured. I have to figure out where its place of honor will be. It might actually go by my bedside table, like above it, hanging on the wall. But that was so precious to me. Like, oh my gosh. So sweet. Like, so sweet. I'm a very sentimental person, so I love that the thought put behind when somebody thinks to send something to me. Like, I don't feel worthy of that. So thank you to both of you. I know that you said it was a thank you for spreading joy to your lives, but thank you, because that meant so much to me. So much to me. All right, so I think I'm ready to show you some new starts, whips, and finishes. Are we ready? Okay, so we had, these are in no particular order. I had one pretty big start this week. On Tuesday, one of my best stitchy friends, Erin 2 Martini Stitcher, and Alicia over at Resist Stitch, they decided, because it was their first mirror, that they were going to have a mirror out. Well, I have a mirror, a Mirabilia, already on the go. I have Gathering Eggs, which is a little bit of a different spin on your typical, like, fancy lady Mirabilia. And so they came up with two hashtags. There's the one that's the first Mira Sow, I think. And then the one that I'm posting to is different. It is the, and I'm going to look it up so I make sure it's right. The Start a Mira September Sow. And so I decided to go ahead and start Snow Queen. It lives in a Garon tote bag. Doesn't really make any sense, but that's okay. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is Mirabilia's Snow Queen. I was shock and awe when I was chosen as the giveaway winner on this from Brandy at BeStitchMe. It came with the chart and I think it came with the Krynic. There's a couple Krynics, and then the whole bead pack, which is phenomenal. And so it calls for a slew of DMC. And it calls for 2 Karen water lilies, which I actually have gotten to stitch some in. And I am stitching this on a Brandy fabric. I don't have the bead pack in here because it really doesn't fit. I am stitching this on 32 count BeStitchMe Lugana in Frost. and it's a beautiful color. And this is a Garon Grime Guard. So I have a bit of a center start. The first color I put in is nearly identical to the fabric, but you can still see it. And oh my gosh, the water lilies are beautiful silks to work with. So I'm really enjoying this. It's going to be fun. I had an initial thought, because I know that, oh my gosh, her name is escaping me. I know her YouTube name. Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. What is her? Oh my gosh. She doesn't watch me, but if she does, I apologize that I am a dunce and don't remember your name. But I'm going to look it up because I don't want to. Oh, Julie. That is so right. Julie. Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. She stitched this, and she stitched on it anytime it snowed. Well, she's in Colorado. We don't get snow very often here in Texas. Let's just be honest. But we do typically get temperatures below 50. I actually Googled at what temperature, what is the highest temperature where it could theoretically snow. And somebody said it has been recorded that it could snow at 50. And it would obviously cool it down. It's not going to stick, things like that. So I think I'm going to stitch on this anytime the temperature, at any time during the course of a day, hits 50, I will pull this out and stitch on it. We'll see. I might just stitch on it when I want to. And probably on the 22nd of every month. I will save knitting until the end, so we're not kind of all over the place. Or not till the end, but till a little bit later on. Alright, so I started this project last Friday after my video, but I did show it to you. This is from Cherry Hill Stitchery, and this is You Are So Loved. This is actually there's a trio of these. You can buy them individually or together, and it's part of, I think, like her Woodland Floral trio, and the other two are cute little woodland animals. It'd be precious for like a nursery. I am stitching this on an 18 count Aida from Victorian Motto in Colonial. And I did color converting on it, and some of y'all were so complimentary of my color conversion. I brightened it up a lot, and so I have Weeks Dye Works Romance, which is a bright magenta, 1940s Aqua by Victorian Motto, Color and Cotton Ash Plum, and one of my favorite greens, Color and Cotton Pickle. And so I have a little bit of a start, but I'm loving this color, Romance. I don't know why I even have this in my stash, but I did, and I thought it was pretty. It's hard to see the variegation, but this is a beautiful piece of Aida, and I'm going to try to put a little bit more into this weekend. I am stitching this for my best friend at work. She is our counselor, and she says, you are loved all the time. And so I want people to know. All right, so this is one of my finishes, and I don't have the chart, but this is, I had actually UFO'd this, and then I realized, dude, you are so close to finishing the first letter. Like, just finish it, and then you can move on and put it behind you, and that'll be okay, because I just decided that I'm not loving the project, but I can finish the one. So this is Summerhouse Stitchworks Calico Sampler. So there's every letter. I'm actually selling all of the charts on my D-Stash, A through Z. And you can stitch them and make your own design, or they tell you how much you would need to stitch 3 across all the way down into a long banner. And it's got beautiful coloring. I did a color conversion. I was stitching this on 16 count Quartz from Picture This Plus. I went ahead and just finished the A because I was going to put A Joy-Filled Life, but I wasn't loving that. I felt like I'd put too much work into this. I just wasn't feeling it. And you know, it is what it is. So I finished the A. I had already finished this border. I finished out the herringbone and tied it off. It's, I think, supposed to have something down here, but I think I'm just going to put this in my Stitchy journal and call it good. And then I've got a really big piece of this beautiful fabric. So that was a finish, and it should be a fully finished soon, I would think. All right, so let me see, what else? Where are we gonna go? I did work a little bit over the weekend on Blessed is a Life. This is in a So Much to Love project bag. This is a chart by Little House Needleworks. This was their Hoffman Distributing 30th Anniversary exclusive. I think you can find it now, more readily available. I have this on an 18 count Aida that I got from a hand dyer on Stash Unloading. Her name is Oksana, and she posts, you know, a few fabrics a couple times a week. I went ahead and finished out what I was stitching on the house, the windows and the roof. I'm not loving it. I'm thinking I might pull it out. Or I thought maybe if I took like some cream color and made it look like tiles on the roof or window panes, it might lighten it up. I did go ahead and stitch this tree. I stitched the fence, and I stitched the birdhouse pole and the bird, part of the bird. I am doing a complete color conversion so far. So good, with the exception of the house. I'm not loving that. I'm not one to frog things out. I try to manage it. So we'll see. I may wait and get that whole half done and see if I like it at that point. I will, typically when I show that project, I will link to a Google Doc that has my conversion. So you're welcome to click on that. It'll show you what I'm using each color for, because there's very few colors in the charted. So I'm not doing it based on symbol, I'm doing it based on the item. So like one girl has a blue dress and brownish hair, one girl has a pink dress or pinkish red dress, and then blonde hair, because that's Joy-Filled Little One and I. And then I swapped in a bunch of fancy flosses, but I don't think there's any of them that are mystery dyes or Victorian Mottos. I believe I pulled from the major brands. I think it's mostly Color and no, not Color and Cotton, excuse me. Classic Colorworks and Gast, because I wanted to share it with y'all. All right, so this was a start. This is a Barbara Anna. I love some Barbara Anna. And this is from the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher Magazine 2017 Christmas issue. And when I subscribed in 2018, I received, when I subscribed, the digital back issues of 2017. So I was going through looking like, hey, is there anything I want to start? And I saw this amazing, amazing fox lady deer hybrid. And it's called Winter Woodland Keeper. I am stitching her for sure, but I think I'm just going to stitch her. I don't know that I'm going to do all the extra stuff. I haven't decided that yet. We shall see. I'm just stitching her for right now. And this is in a Love You More Studio Co pouch that has these awesome black and white sketched woodland animals. I thought it was perfect. I am stitching this on 25 count Antique White Lugana in the called for DMC or close. And I am stitching this 1/1, full cross. So I have a bit of the bodice of her dress and this half of the skirt. I like to stitch these tiny. I'm stitching her light one that has that awesome fox lady. I'm stitching it over one also. 1/1 on 25 count. Yee, tiny stitches. I really enjoy this. This is a fun one. And I love that she charts in DMC. I was watching Michelle Bindi, and she was sharing about the Trick or Treat one that just came out in the latest Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. That's on my list to start before October 13th. But I'm not going to stitch Trick or Treat. And the jack-o'-lanterns are going to be pumpkins because I'm not a big Halloween fan. Joy-Filled Little One hates Halloween, like, except for costumes and candy. She does not like spookiness. She does not like scariness. So, but she loves cats. She can have a cat because my husband and I are both allergic, but she loves cats. So I thought it was so cute. Anywho, she made a point that she doesn't alter Barbara Anna's colors because Barbara Anna is great with the blending. Like, she'll make, on that fox is a perfect example. The way that those colors blend makes it look like real fur. And so you don't mess with it if you don't have to. Sometimes I do just because I don't have the colors, so I go close. All right, this is in another Love You More Studio Co pouch, and this is a really cute woodland one. I think some of these are still available. I will link them down below, and this holds Tiny Modernist Folk Art Sampler. This is a Nashville release from this year, and I thought she looked very similar to Pippi Longstocking with her little whoop. So I am doing a color conversion on her hair to make it more red. And then pretty much everything else is being stitched in the called for DMCs. And this is on a 16 count Aida from Mystic Fabrics. It's just a mystery dye. And I have a bit of a start on the bodice and skirt of her dress. I am a typical center starter, or I am typically a center starter. And so most things you're going to see I start in the center. And it happens to often be dresses when it comes to Barbara Anna's. All right, so let's see. Let's go to this little pouch. This is one of the little canvas pouches I showed last week that I had gotten from Amazon. I linked them last week. I will link it again. And this holds a new start. This is Mary and Jesus stained glass. Now, the designer of this stitched all the black background on one of those kind of wood plaque kind of things that's all perforated. So it becomes like perforated paper, but it's wood. It's like chipboard. I am not into that. I've tried it. I did not enjoy it. I'm not a huge fan of perforated paper, but I can get on board if necessary. I'm sorry. This is from Snowflake Stitchery. And this was from the 2019 Christmas ornament issue. So just last Christmas. And I just get the digital issues. So I decided I was going to stitch it on some hand-dyed fabric by Stephanie. And this is her 16 count slate Aida. And I just went through the chart and decided to do one black line, one black stitch all the way around to make it still have the appearance of stained glass. And then I'll fill in, kind of like coloring. And so I got quite a bit done on this so far. This is baby Jesus. And then this is Mary holding him. So I am going to do all of the black first and then come back and do the rest. But this is a fun little ornament stitch. And it's got beautiful, bright blues. So I'm excited for the outlining to be done. All right, I did a restart on the project that lives in this pouch. This is one I sewed with some fabric I found at Joann's that has the old Disney movie, Princess movie posters. And this holds my Sleeping Beauty's Castle blackwork. This is from a shop on Etsy called Retro Rose 98, and I will link it below. Just a friendly reminder, because I've had people that comment, so I don't know if you're listening. My disclaimer every week is the same. I do put so much detail into the description box, but it's tomorrow. Because by the time I'm done with this and I clean up, I want to have my protein shake, sit down, relax. I've done a whole day at school and I don't sit down at the computer because I do a lot of computer work for school too. So the last thing I'm going to do is sit down. So I apologize if that frustrates some of y'all, but just patience. I promise it will be there by about 9 o'clock in the morning, usually before that. So anywho, I had talked last week about how it was on that 18 count slate Aida, which was great, but it was a little floppy. And I found with the blackwork piece that I have, I really like it on the Monaco, the white Monaco, or Antique White Monaco. So this, I moved it over to a piece of 28 count white Monaco, which is the DMC Charles Craft. It comes in a tube. I'm stitching it in the called for DMC, and it's only like 7 or 8 colors. And I got a little bit of a start, and it's already just so much more crisp. Like, I want it to be sharp, like, awesome. So, and it's going to probably blow it out, so I'm going to do the best I can. But look at how much better that looks. For those of you that watched last week and saw it, I think it looks so much better. So, this is fun. I love the change up to the blackwork every now and again. Or back stitching, or whatever you want to call it. I found another really cool shop through someone's video, and they have a ton of really good, like, pop culture reference blackworks. Like, I can't really let Joy-Filled Little Ones see all the princess ones and all the My Little Pony ones, because I will be stitching all the My Little Pony ones if I do that. I wouldn't mind it. Kind of would be fun. But I think I can only have one going, because they are a little bit more labor intensive, because in order to get, like, the full detailing, it's very, like, you're stitching almost every stitch. Alright, so then this was another start, and I'm going to have a hard time showing it, but this is from the 2020 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. There is no image of this, so I'm going to really far away. This was the blue flower. You may have seen Steph of Pam and Steph stitching this. It is the blue flowers. I'm calling it squirrel pie, but it's a squirrel baking a pie. And I am stitching this on a piece of Stitchworks 28 count linen in light khaki gingham. And I did some converting because I didn't have everything. And so far, I have Little Miss Squirrel, or most of Little Miss Squirrel, and the beginnings of her pie, like cake stand, pie stand. So, I did switch a lot of them to color and cotton. Typically, I will share my conversion when I'm finished, because I want to make sure that I like it. And then finally, this bag actually holds a start and a finish. And this is a bag I sewed using Helen D's tutorial. I do link it every week in the description box below. She has a fantastic bag tutorial. So the finish I had is from the spring 2020 issue of Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. Let me just say this. If you get 0 other magazines, get Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher. There are at least 4 to 5, maybe even more cross stitch charts every month that I want to stitch. Like when I'm wanting a new start, I immediately go and pull up my digital copies and I'm like, what do I like? Barbara Anna's in almost every single one of them, so if you like that style. Nikki's Creations is in there. Lately, Lindy Stitches has been doing a series this year, this one. This is on my docket to stitch soon. This is Eagle Manor. The one in the fall just came out. That was my new start. And she'll have one, I assume, for Christmas. Priscilla and Chelsea have a series in there. Teresa Kogut often has things in there. And I mean, it has Punch Needle too. So like if you're thinking about trying out Punch Needle, you've already got the magazine. There's lots of awesome options there. Anywho, that's my soapbox. So I stitched this, because it's finished, on 25 count vintage Smoky White Lugana. I stitched it 2/2 and did a complete color and cotton conversion because I am extra. And I actually already pulled the flosses out. I sent Joy-Filled Little One back into the office with them. But she's finished. I named her Harriet. Harriet Hedgehog. Sitting on her house. And I love it. I think she is precious. And she has a little bow in her hair. Oh my gosh, so good. So it is a circle design, but I decided I wanted to stitch it just like this instead of having it be in the circle finish. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know if it's just going to go in my journal or if I'm going to find a way to finish it. I haven't decided. So yes, that was the finish. I don't really need to put it back in here. Now my start, and it's kind of crumpledy, but this was the fall issues, and it's Vulture Villa. Now, I am going to possibly at some point stitch Vulture Villa. However, I'm not a Halloween stitcher and don't really like vultures, but I think this is an awesome design by Stephanie of Lindy Stitches. So I decided, what can I put next to this real tall, skinny house on the mailbox that would be whimsical, fall-like? Yeah. So I am stitching Turkey Townhouse. So I charted a turkey to go right here on the mailbox that fits somewhat in those same dimensions. And then this is going to be a townhouse. So we have Turkey Townhouse. So I did some converting. And here is my turkey. I'm stitching this so it'll be the same size, 2/2 on 25 count Astros Lugana. And there's my turkey. So, Turkey Townhouse. Because stitch all the turkeys. That was something that I said needs to be a hashtag to Michelle Bendy in an instant message. I said, hashtag stitch all the turkeys. Or I think I said stitch all the turkeys. She goes, that needs to be a hashtag. Hashtag stitch all the turkeys. Stitch all the turkeys, for sure. And her turkey, so good. Like the turkey pulling the cart with the chef with the fork. I'm like, but it kind of makes me sad because that turkey's going to be eaten. This turkey's not. Because he lives in a townhouse. He's fancy. He'll probably get eaten because he's a turkey. Okay, so, and anyway, we call turkeys and our people that are acting goofy in our family, we call them turkeys. Let me just throw in a tiny bit of life update because I realized I haven't updated you on like school and life. So, We had a good weekend. We had a restful weekend, which was nice. We really didn't have anywhere to go, where are we going to go? The grocery store maybe? But we did a Costco run on Saturday because we have not been in a while and we needed to stock up on a few things. And so we went like right when they opened, and they have some amazing protocols in place, let me just say. And then that was pretty much it. Only place we went is usually the grocery store or the Costco. But we haven't been there in a while. Now I'm just rambling. So we are in we just finished our 6th week of school. 6th or 7th, I've lost track. And we are still doing very well. We are at nearly full enrollment, which is incredible. We weren't sure what that would look like with the uncertainty of COVID, but because our public schools keep kind of floundering back and forth. Are we going to go back? Are we not? Are we going to go back? Are we not? And they're still virtual for a bit longer. We had an influx of families who wanted more opportunity for their child to learn in a traditional setting. So I think we have only 4 spots open. 2 in 3rd grade and 2 in kindergarten, which is amazing. I think we have a better enrollment this year than we did last year. Now, we have added a teacher at every grade level in order to minimize the number of students in each class. I need to do my nails. I keep trying to hide them because they're kind of chipped. It's week 2. I need to do them again. But I didn't want naked nails, and I didn't want to stop to take my polish off. Okay, so anywho. I don't know what else I was going to say. Okay. I'm going to show you 2 planned things, but first let's spin to see what I'm going to work on this week. You also notice I did not get around to my big old project of the week, which was United We Stand, so I'm going to work on it this weekend. I think that it's going to typically turn out that way, at least for the present time and being, is I can't guarantee stitches in that project every day. I'm coming home, I'm tired. My days are long but fulfilled. Yeah, I can't be sad about that. All right, so let's spin the wheel. Oh, I haven't worked on that in a while. Okay, that'll be a good one. That is Long Dog Samplers Count Your Blessings instead of sheep. It has a lot of really cute little sheep. Okay, so a couple of other things that are coming up on the agenda that I wanted to share. I did not share today's new start, and that is because I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's a really cute small. This was from I'm going to have to pull it out. This is in a Bags Plus Bendy Flip. This is from the Just Cross Stitch 2020 Christmas ornament issue, and this is by My Big Toe Designs. And this is her Merry Christmas ornament. And I'm going to be stitching this on a piece of Vintage Country Mocha. I think it's a 20 count. And I actually had every single one of the called for, I believe. Or close. I think I had, I was short on 2 of them. I did not have baked apples, so I am going to use the DMC equivalent. And I did not have juniper, and I'm using the DMC equivalent. But I had taffeta, Chesapeake, and crimson, which are all by Stitchworks. And I am converting on this. It is not going to say Merry Christmas. It's going to say something else. And that is what I am stitching first, so I will share that with you next week. Love ya! All right, and one more thing. I'm super excited. This is my start for Tuesday. It's gonna be here so soon. This is going to live in a Love You More Studio Co-pouch, and this is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Hello Dear Stitch Along. It is not too late. You can definitely, for sure, still order the PDF. You can use my code, JOY10, to get 10% off, I believe. You can actually still order the full kit. You just may not be able to start the very first day that it's released because it is coming from the UK. Now, I wanted to share one thing, and I will share this every time I share, but I messaged Sally, who is the owner of Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and asked if I could swap out, because she sent me this kit, asked if I could swap out the fabric because it is stitched on white even weave or white Aida, and I knew what I wanted to do Hello Pumpkin on, and it's on a 32 count Lugana. This is a 28 count Lugana. so they wouldn't be the same size. So I asked if I could swap because I had something in my stash that I thought could maybe be pretty awesome. And she said, yes, as long as you share that you've changed your fabric. So I am not stitching mine on the 28 count even weave. I am stitching mine on this 32 count Lugana in the powder pink, or no, excuse me, it's called Splash Powder Pink with white dots Lugana. So it's one of the ones that is has like the printed. I actually don't know that they're yeah, they are printed, but they're not super thick like the Petty Point. So it's a light pink with little white dots. And I thought, now the only color I was concerned about was this one, but from what I could maybe tell, that's going to be faces or something. But even still, I think it shows up. So this is going to be, I think, what I'm going to do. Because I wanted to do a 32 count. I'm doing that barn board check for Hello Pumpkin. And I thought this would be something cool and different. And blue's not going to work because there's so many blues in it. So I might still change my mind. But just know that when I share it, and I will have that detail listed, I'm not doing the kit fabric. So keep that in mind, folks. All right, so those are 2 planned things that are coming up, which means that literally leaves us with knitting. I forgot about knitting. Okay, so first things up, this lives in a Birch Grove pouch that I got off of Etsy. And this holds my Lentilla Shawlette, which is by Strickmick Martina Bem, found it on Ravelry. I am working through this with Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher. We are doing hashtag Treehouse Lentilla Cowl, K-A-L. I am knitting this with a beautiful Treehouse Knits yarn. They're August 2020 yarn of the month. And I am on attempt number 3, and I finally got it, folks. Not even gonna lie. So I've ripped it out twice. I did put my progress marker back in where we left off last week. So I have made progress past what you saw, but I had to work at it. I had some issues with the short rows. I dropped a stitch somewhere. I'm still not great at figuring that out. My progress keeper is from a fantastic shop on Etsy called Charmed and Dangerous with an S. I will link below. And so yeah, I'm excited to put some more time into this now that I'm finally getting the groove. And so yeah, I'm excited. And I know Erin had quite the whirlwind. She started stitching it on a set of needles and literally cracked it in half. Then she pulled it out, started on a new set, and then her yarn, I guess, had gotten kind of loose, and so it snapped in the middle. She was like, I didn't really want to knot, and so I think she's on attempt 3. You know what? We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. That's kind of the fun, is in learning something new. All right, so then I actually have another shawlette on needles from Strickmick Martina Bem. This is Hitchhiker. So it's another one of her shawlettes. And this is in Thread Pickers yarn in Mucky Pup. So this is what that looks like. And I've gotten quite a bit of progress in this one. This has an unnamed progress keeper. So this is where I was last week, and this is where I am now. The thing is you get going, that the rows get longer. It takes you longer to get through a row. But I'm loving how this is knitting up. It's got a great squish to it. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. This one is fun to work on. I've been working a little bit on the baby blanket, but I am not showing that today. And got one more. This is in my Stitching the High Notes bag. And this holds my... I even printed a picture. Where did it go? Okay, I did not apparently put the picture in here. I printed a picture and did not put it in here. But this is the Moving Forward wrap by Bayron, B-A-Y-R-O-N. I am probably butchering that, so my apologies. She has beautiful, beautiful knits. She has one called the Waves of Change jacket that it might be my first foray into like sweater style knitting. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a picture. Moving forward wrap. Thank you, Google. It's beautiful, and I'm really enjoying this one too. But learning something new. So, it's kind of hard to see in this photo, but it's got these beautiful, there we go. It goes in these bands, and so this is one repeat, and then it repeats that repeat several times, like 5, I think, 4 or 5. I am working this up in Knit Picks Hawthorne, which is kind of like their fingering weight sock style yarn, and this is in the color Skyline, so it is beautiful. I did get another hank of it, or skein of it, because I need 3, and I have a bit of progress because I was literally here. I have another progress keeper from Charmed and Dangerous. I have my stitch marker in the middle to mark my center double decrease, and that's what I have so far. This one's fun, and this yarn is knitting up beautifully, beautifully. So I'm enjoying this one too. These are so fun. I love pulling out something knitting wise, like in just a few minutes time. Like, I just have a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to put in a row, or I'm going to put in 2 rows. And having it with me is just awesome. All right, I don't have much stash this week, but that's okay. That is okay. So it's joy-filled stashy stash time. It's joy-filled stashy stash time. So the first thing I'm going to share is a yarn that I got. This is actually from, somebody was de-stashing on Instagram. And this is from Sweet Tea Yarns. And I had to get it because the colorway is called Whack It Weezer. Yes. And this is in Darling DK. So this is a DK weight. But look at that. Whack It Weezer. Take a whack at Weezer. Still Magnolias. Best movie. Pink is my signature color. My wedding is 2 shades. So different from each other. We have blush and bashful. Shelby, your colors are pink and pink. Okay, so I placed an order with Garon Stitchery because, and let me tell you, lightning fast speed, he posted some bags. Ronnie posted some bags on Saturday, and I knew that there were some other things I wanted to snag up, so I grabbed some of the mini bags because they are perfect for ornament size stitching. So this is Hippie Dippy Dogs. Look at how cute those are. Oh my gosh, yes. Look at these gorgeous flowers. Oh my gosh, yes please. And then look at the fall leaves with the little bit of like metallic in them. So this is their new 6x9 size. So it's like buy all the mini bags now. And then I went ahead and grabbed, this is the last, I believe, in the Secret Santa series. I haven't felt the desire to stitch any of the other ones, except this one says Spread Joy. And it's a Santa. So this will come at some point, because you know Joy, all the Joy things. He actually had the trim. It's Pumpkin Boo by Lady Creates. This is for Ghosties and Gourds. And so I went ahead and snagged that for the banner. And then I grabbed up some Weeks Dye Works I need for that Luminous Fiber Arts Berry Buzz chart that I did not have in stash. I had some of them. And then I grabbed some of the new Weeks. I'm going to open this. It's going to be a little crinkle. Some of the new Weeks Dye Works. These are 2-stranded. So it's like kind of like sulky, but it's basically like 45 yards. So it's similar to their normal, but it's already in 2 strands. So you literally pull it off, cut it, and start stitching. You'd only need to separate it if you're going to use 1 strand. So I'm kind of pumped. It's on these little cardboard spools, and they're wrapped in plastic. And so I got navy, which I am going to use in that Berry Buzz because it calls for navy. Obviously, it's way more than I could use in one. And then I think it also calls for mulberry. So I got those 2 colors, and I thought I'd give it a try and let you know how it is. Because I don't mind Weeks Dye Works anymore. I used to be like, no. But I think I just maybe had a bad batch once, and then I was like, I'm never stitching with this again. And it was how I held hard and fast to that. And then I ended up with a sub of it, and then... All right, so then I got my Fabric of the Month and Silk of the Month from BeStitchMe. So this is my last month. This was this month, and it is my last month to get the 27 count. I am switching over to 20 count Aida, and this is in the colorway Not Another Sampler. And this is beautiful. This might be my new neutral. Might be. I love them all. And then the silks, yeah, gorgeous. And it is a little crinkly, so my apologies. So we got, they all go together. Look at this, look at this. I mean, you could literally walk out and stitch something with this. So we got 20 yards of Happy. 20 yards of Happy. We got 10 yards of Marmalade, 10 of Lemonade, and 10 of Petal. And they are all fantastic. Fantastic. Brandy does it again. Brandy does it again. So awesome sauce. All right, and then I did, you've seen some of the Love You More Studio co-pouches. This was another one. I just haven't put anything in it yet. But look at, it's a squirrel. And he has like a spelunking light because he's on a scavenger hunt for acorns. I had to have it. Me and the squirrels. We got to have it all. Have it all. I saw this. Ooh, crud. And I remember now who I saw it on because she showed it when it came in. And I was like, that was who I was thinking about. Remember how I told you about finishing the smalls? I think it was the 12 Days of Christmas. And doing it like flip style. And that somebody had talked about finding a frame. It was Sarah, Stitch Mommy. She had found it on Amazon, and it's a Tim Holtz. Well, who doesn't love Tim Holtz? And it's this. So it's a frame with these rings, and you can flip, flip, flip. So it is really pretty. It's hefty. It is only one-sided. So like you would put it like this on your table, and then you have your rings. It has a nice chunky base, and then it has the really like kind of distressed rings. I got it off of Amazon. It took a little longer to ship because it was not like a super prime item or something. I don't know. But I have it. I'm clearly nowhere close to finishing that series. In fact, I'm thinking I might start the rest of them on 18 count Aida. Because I stitch faster on the Aida. And that's a big project. So let me ask you this. Is that going to look terrible that the first one is on 36 count white? I mean, it's Antique White. It's 36 count, 18 count. Like in general, they're going to be the exact same size. They're going to be the exact same color. Do I care that one is on 36 count? Or is that just like a really good benchmark of like, you figured it out after you did one? And I'm not restitching one. I'm just being honest about that. All right, I did place an order the minute that Brandy said she was going to be selling 20 count Aida. I placed an order for all my favorites, and they came. And it came literally like after my video last week. Okay, so I got a 20 count Aida in Through the Stones, which is a tealy gray, which is really pretty. I got a 20 count in Artemis, which is a dusky blue gray. This is not one of my favorites, but I've seen it and I needed it. This is Lou's Wine. Yeah. Yeah. Gorgeous. And then I got Honey, which reminds me a little bit of Sampler Gold from Color and Cotton, which is beautiful, but it's a little paler and a little yellower. More yellow. And then, of course, Outback Jack. Gotta have Outback Jack, which is like a grayish with a pinkish undertone. Beautiful. Brandy strikes again with the amazing fabrics. So, bucket's empty. Told you I didn't have much. I just hit myself in the face with it, though. So yeah, that's about all she wrote. Let's do our Angel Kindness card. Thank you also so much for all the kind and thoughtful comments last week about my kind of TED Talk about being kind. That meant a lot to me. I don't want to say that I ever intended to stand up on like a TED Talk type box and share my thoughts in the way that I have, but these cards have lent themselves to that. I don't know that it'll be every week that I'll be moved to share what's weighing on my heart, but I have been. And thank you to those who have been open to hear it and have been supportive and awesome and shared kindness back to me and encouragement and love and all those things. So this week, we have this beautiful angel. And it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. And on the back it says, when you love yourself, it's easy to love others. And that is absolutely true. Love yourself first. And then once you do, you'll more easily be able to love others. I haven't always loved myself. There are still days that I'm like, I don't love myself. But I try for more that I do than I don't. We never know what somebody else is going through, and most people see me, and from the outside, I look like I've got it all together, fantastic, but sometimes the inside's crumbling, and the inside is not as sure as the outside appears. You can be a statue on the outside, but if your foundation's not strong, and you're not feeling all the things, it's out of luck. So we've somehow come in under an hour today. What is that? I guess I was not as chatty and I didn't have as much stash to share. And that's going to be the case because I'm destashing more. I have more stuff that I have decided needs to go because it's not calling to me. I'm not feeling as inspired by it. And I think truly when my anxiety was really, really bad, I bought all the things because it made me feel good to get things. So be watching for more stuff on the destash. I have some more things to ship out this week. Thank you to those who have been patient and waited on me to get my act together. And I've got more going out this weekend. I've got more probably posting this weekend. I don't know when. Family's going to come first. Doing the laundry is going to come first. But with that, I hope you have a wonderful, blessed week ahead. Happy stitching, happy knitting, happy crafting, whatever it is that you're going to do. Happy organizing, whatever it is. And with that, I will bid you so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I'll see you next week.